Hey, welcome to the Hangout tonight. I am Brian with my co-host tonight, Mr. Howie Darkstar, who is to my left, but he might be somewhere else on your screen. I'm not sure.
And
How's it going, Howie?
you never know where John's going to put it because he gets both files. He gets the highlighted one, and they can break it up however they want. I'm doing well. Hey, something odd happened yesterday.
What was that?
We both independently, without knowing each other were going to do it, both did a video on rainbow lighting.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. And you used DMX, binary code.
Yes.
I used alien technology.
Yes.
And we achieved the same results.
Yes.
Or I don't know, maybe a similar results.
Yes, very similar. I like that. I like those Ape Lab things you have that are hanging like that.
It's too simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put them away, but yeah, they're pretty neat. But it's so simple, and you know me, I just want simple.
Well, I mean, it's important though. I mean, some venues they don't give you much time to set up or tear down, and sometimes you get surprised. Somebody else has got an event going on there. Man, your setup is quick. I like that.
Well, you know, and my thing has always been, and I'll wrap it around to our show topic, about the music. I don't really want to fuss with all the other stuff. I'd rather just focus on the music and let the lights do what the lights do. If I'm focused on the lights and the music, I don't have undivided attention anymore with my audience and the music I'm playing. So that's what we're going to kick off talking about tonight is music at our events. And I've just had some odd observations lately. Have you ever... Whoops, I got an echo now. That must be Howie. Because you're the only one who's not muted. There's a slight echo, but it's not bad. Very, very slight. Okay, anyway.
I'll turn the monitor down.
It's no big deal. Have you seen the Oprah Winfrey episode where Tom Cruise loses his mind and starts hopping up and down the sofa?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the Tonight Show episode with Jay Leno when Bobcat Goldthwait lit the sofa on fire?
And he was banned forever.
And he was banned forever? Or when Johan Phoenix went on David Letterman, all looking like he had been in a cave for 6 months with a beard and his hair all scraggly, saying he was quitting acting and was become a hip-hop artist? I'm having one of those weeks. And you may be looking at me like I'm that guy this week because I'm making some really weirdo observations about music and what the audience is responding to. It's not normal. It's against everything that I've ever, I guess, learned as a DJ. It's like I'm relearning everything now because this is very Twilight Zone, what's happening with my audiences. And it's interesting. But to make a long story short, things are changing. It's not like it used to be. It's different.
Well, I've noticed that too. I'm running into the same sort of thing that you mentioned in a previous video this week, where people are saying, play something modern or something new, and you play a 20-year-old song, and I'm like, wow, you're getting high fives from that kind of stuff. That's kind of odd. I don't think that they know what they want yet. They're certainly not into the new mumble rap.
No.
They're requesting stuff from movies like the Guardians of the Galaxy, all that kind of, and it's new to them.
Yeah, Wavy Davy had mentioned that somebody at his event on Saturday asked for Hooked on a Feeling. And I mean, we know that's from Guardians of the Galaxy. Dave didn't know that. He's like, well, what is this? This is the millennial. I thought it was a joke, but they all really got into it. And yeah, some really weird things happened at my event. Now, granted, I wasn't playing a high school. I was at a yacht club, but it was... I was doing, and I've done videos on this, but turn your monitor down a little more, Howie, because it's echoing.
Hold on.
He's got this under control. He'll take care of it. Anyway, I was doing a yacht club event, and I thought I'd play some warm-up songs before dancing started. My first song, actually, I played White Horse by Laid Back, which is an old electro song, while they were still kind of getting organized. And then after they were organized, I played Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy, you know, just as a, volume low, no lights on or anything else. And then I played Horse with No Name by America, thinking, it's a warm-up tune, whatever. And the dance floor all of a sudden filled up and people started dancing to it. What is going on? This is weird. I got it on film. It really happened. You can watch my gig log.
I did watch it, and I run into very similar events, but I noticed that your crowd, they weren't really a millennial crowd. They were the people, that now have disposable income.
Well, it was all over the board. There were millennials there. There were people in their 60s there. There were people my age there. And there were really old people like you there too. There were all kinds of people there. It was pretty interesting. That was a little joke I stuck in there. But anyway,
they don't know I'm still 97.
Oh, you're not 98 yet. That's right. Your birthday is still later. No, but it's interesting because the songs that I got a good reaction from, like the best reaction from, were not only the odd requests they made, but the odd follow-ups that I did to them. And when I say odd, this is what I'm talking about. Typically, if we're playing music for a crowd, we're, as DJs, if our objective is to get a dance floor going on, to engage the audience, I think we typically look for, 4-time hits.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be something brand new. It could be something 10 years old. It could be something 65 years old. It could be Elvis Presley. It could be Bill Haley and the Comets. It could be the Beatles' Twist and Shout. And you think about a band like the Beatles, for instance. What did we play by the Beatles? We played Twist and Shout, and I Saw Her Standing There, and Birthday. I mean, what else do we play by the Beatles? Normally, what do we play?
I personally, I don't, I do the Twist and Shout because you do that, that triple play with all those twist titles. But I play Get Back, that version.
Okay, that's a good one too.
On the rooftop, because instantly they recognize that first intro and they're like, oh wow.
That's an interesting one that you mentioned it. The song dun 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 dun.
That hook gets them right away. Yes, it does.
Right. So you can
not only do they dance, they sing along to it. Which when you got them both going and doing that, you've got that crowd. You have them for the night.
We got 4 Beatles songs that we're talking about now, essentially, right? Did I count that right? 4?
Right.
How many albums did the Beatles do? I mean, a lot, right?
It's very interesting because I did buy, was it 5 years ago when they came out with the box set? It's 11 and a half hours of Beatles music. Everything they've ever recorded, outtakes, acoustic versions, 11 and a half hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we were only playing 4 of those songs.
Yeah, right. I don't know why I bought it.
What I'm trying to get at is, and this is the weirdo observation that I've made, and this is where I'm having the sofa fire moment, where it's just like there's something wrong with Brian. He's out of his damn mind. The songs that I got the best response from were songs that did not have what I call training wheel beats on them. Mm-hmm. They weren't songs that, they were easy to dance to, even if you weren't into it, even if it wasn't your era. It kind of sounds like modern music.
Mm-hmm.
Music, I mean, in my lifetime, I remember when disco hit. And, Donna Summer's I Feel Love was the first, real da-da-da-da-da-da. It was like the dance tune. And through the 70s, if it was a dance song, it was a disco song. You weren't dancing to it if it wasn't disco. And then in the 80s, it was the new wave, which wasn't like disco. It was more rock, but it still had the beat. And then we hit drum machines. And then rock songs happened. like You Shook Me All Night Long, Living on a Prayer, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Paradise City,
Mm-hmm.
uh, those types of, and Skinny Bop by Poison, maybe? Anyway,
Right.
constant beat. And so you can play those as dance songs and get away with playing them as dance songs. I love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett. I mean, Donna, Donna,
Right.
Donna, Donna, easy. The stuff that I got the best results from last night or last weekend had none of that.
Yeah, you were
And it
playing
freaked
from
me out.
um I don't know. I've had good success with it at the outdoor events that I do, and these are all the songs that you are talking about and that was in your video. They're not quantitized.
There, well, none of it is, but
Right.
it's not even, what do they call, like the four and floor drum, it's not there.
Right. Right. But
So
people
it's
love
the
it.
songs. I mean, the example that I gave in one of my videos that I did this week, and I beat this into the ground. You pointed that out to me, and you're absolutely right. But it's interesting to me. Uh, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville
Right.
is one of those songs that my brain hurts when people dance to that song. I don't understand it. You have to really like Jimmy Buffett
Yeah.
to enjoy that song. Something had to happen in your life during a Buffett song for that to be that special to you, because it's very difficult to find a groove in that track.
Hmm.
And the other one that's really popular is Meatloaf Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I can't stand that song. That's the Take a Crap song. We've talked about that. That's the only thing that song's good for, is taking a dump, because it's like 8 minutes long. Uh, that one also, it sounds like it's just pulled out of a bad musical, and it's not a dance track, but people dance to it. It's like a bar favorite, and I understand they're almost like songs with cult followings, a little bit.
Chris, can you turn your camera off?
Oh, Chris, can you have a camera? I'll get his camera on. All right, me. But oh, there's Jimmy. Hopefully he's got clothes on. Anyhow, um, the songs that I had good success with were songs like Margaritaville and like Paradise with the Dashboard Light. As far as the structure went, they weren't four on the floor dance songs. The one that
Right.
I just like bakes my noodle, Horse with No Name by America, is a folk song.
Yes, it is.
They're dancing to it. They didn't dance to Save a Horse Ride a Cowboy. They danced to Horse with No Name.
What I consider when people dance to those oddball songs like that, I consider it like hippie type dancing where they would just swirl around and sing along.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not really
Speaking,
dancing, but they're moving.
well, they were actually dancing to this.
I
Speaking of,
How do you
speak,
dance to dashboard
they
lights?
did it. They did it. Now, speaking of, I got a request for, and I've talked about Let the Sun Shine In, Aquarius, the medley that Fifth Dimension do. And the people on the dance floor for that song, and if you watch the video, you'll see it, they weren't grandma and grandpa. They were millennials
Hmm.
on the floor for that, going nuts and dancing to it. Not just, like you said, the hippie sway. I mean, it was, after I played the song, I got on the microphone and said, "You guys are just a bunch of dirty hippies," and got a big laugh. But
Yeah. Yep.
hey, a bunch of dirty hippies. I'm gonna play some of this, other stuff. But I I I could say this was a unique job, a unique gig, a unique crowd, but I don't think it is, because I've experienced this type of thing recently as well at other events, where you get somebody asking for a track, and you're like, "This, they can't be serious." But you know what? I'm going to call their bluff, and you
Hmm.
play it, and it's not just them. The whole floor is full. It's weird, dude. I
Well,
don't get it.
that's how I got in my what I call my uh, off the grid crate. Someone came up and requested T Rex, but not the one you would think of. They requested Mambo's Son, and I have it, and it's I think it's like 85 or 90 BPM, and it's like very like down tempo.
Mm-hmm.
It it filled the dance floor. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And now it's like I pull that out, and people go, "Ooh," you know.
Right.
And that
No.
was an act. That was a request.
What's going on? Why?
I I don't
I have
think
theories.
that,
I have
I
theories.
don't think that they're into this new stuff that's out. Not all of it anyway, and they're going back and discovering, this stuff like you had mentioned, stuff before we were born. It's like I really have a tough time with the '50s stuff. I'm not feeling it. I play it because they want it, um, but a lot of it I don't understand. I
No.
don't understand that whole acid rock
Huh.
stuff, like the
Dude,
Grateful Dead stuff. I mean, and some of the lyrics, I'm like, wow, these guys had to be tripping or something. And I have no reference point because I wasn't born, or I was too little. I I didn't go through it, so I don't get it.
yeah, I have that problem too. It's like if I have no point of reference to it, because, and I talked about this in the video too, the music for me has always been topical.
Hmm.
I mean, in general, yes, of course, I've always been a big fan of David Bowie in the Changes One album.
Hmm.
One of the first albums I ever had. Well, my siblings had it, and the album and the 8 track. I think I've gone through more copies of Changes One on more formats than any other recording of anyone else. I've had several copies of Purple Rain, and I've had several copies of History America's Greatest Hits, but I think I've been through like 8 tracks, cassettes, multiple records, all that stuff
Right.
of Changes One because I just burn them out because I play them so much.
Hey, here's an observation. Now you mentioned like where is this coming from? Do you remember when we were at Mobile Beat? It was 2 years ago, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and we were with Morrow and Chris and Brian, and we stopped
Hello,
and we hello and we
some
stopped at.
goofball. Why don't you kick him out? Get rid of that guy.
Kick me out.
I hear
You
I
gotta be
hear.
kidding.
Is that John? Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that is John. Hello, John. Hey, we were just talking about Purple Rain. You look purple.
Well, I'm down. I'm down here catching
my.
a concert down here in Vegas tonight.
What?
So that's what we're up to.
Oh,
What are you saying?
We're seeing Frankie Marino.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, he does a lot of different. He's a very talented musician down here. So
Does he do Huey Lewis in the news?
what's that?
Does he do Huey Lewis in the news?
I'm hoping. I can only hope.
Oh, me too.
So,
I'm rooting. I'm
hey guys,
rooting for it.
I just wanted to say hey and send my love. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you later.
Thanks, John.
thanks, John.
Bye-bye.
Wow, no wonder he was purple. Look at that stage.
Yeah, beautiful.
So anyway, I
No,
was making the point that do you remember when we stopped after we went to the Rolling Smoke barbecue? We stopped and we were crate digging at that big vinyl store.
yeah,
And the first two people that we ran into in the aisle, how old do you think those girls were that were sitting and flipping through those albums?
they were teens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And they were looking for old stuff. And you wound up talking to them. You sat down and because when they were flipping through, one of the
They didn't know what they
covers
were
had a
looking at.
picture of a Mustang on it. You went, ooh, ooh, ooh.
No, it was a 4-door Lincoln,
Oh, was it?
4-door Lincoln Continental from the '60s. I don't remember the album was, but I wish I'd have bought it just because.
But
Yeah,
yeah, like
four-door
what's
Lincoln.
going on? They're
65
teens
Lincoln on
and
it.
they're looking for old stuff.
Yeah. Well, and they didn't know what they were looking for, so I was trying to coach them. I'm like, no, yeah, get that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That
but-
was it. That was a real. And Morrow did a live video. It was really cool.
Oh, that's right, he did. I'll have to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
There's something else that occurred to me. I guess it might have been very early this morning, or maybe it was last night. I don't know. But speaking of our videos that we did yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I was okay. So I've been a DJ forever, and then I started doing YouTube videos 12 years ago when this first kind of started happening. And the one thing that's always been really kind of discouraging for me as a DJ doing videos is that I can't do a lot of music, and put it in my videos because then they'll just flag you or take your video down or whatever.
Right.
So I have these lights that I really need music to do a proper demo with. And usually what I'll do is I'll go into like some British CD pool discs that I have, which are DJ only, kind of like promo only, but it's over there. And they've got a series called Global, or a genre called Global, and it's really deep dance and house and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of boom boom boom, your 128 130 beats a minute stuff.
Right.
I'll take one of those obscure tracks and I'll bring the pitch up like 5 BPM, and then I'll bring the key down like a semitone to make it really weird, so it's not really, so I can have the lights react to something. But I needed something more top 40 pop, whatever, with some breaks in it and some different sounds in it, and not just a boom boom boom, because I didn't want that. I wanted something different. So I found this website. It was actually a YouTube channel, and it's royalty-free music stuff. It's just artists.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, the guy who I grabbed the tracks from, I love his tracks. But unfortunately, I cannot say his name because I can't pronounce his name. I don't know where this guy's from in the world. I'm not familiar with his culture. So I don't know what it is, but the music was really cool that I found of his, and I got excited. I found 3 tracks that I liked from him, and it wasn't hard. I mean, they were just right there. I'm like, I want these 3 right here. And I'm listening to him, and I'm watching the light show. I'm like, yeah, this is good. And I did the video, and I haven't done a video like that I've been that happy with for a really long time. So if you want to see a video that I like, go back and look at the last video I did. I liked that one a lot. For some reason, I'm proud of that video for some dumb reason. I enjoy it. But anyway, I'm watching the video, I'm watching my light show, and I'm thinking to myself, this reminds me of these YouTube megastar videos. This is the kind of stuff they're using. Like this royalty-free music stuff. That's I guess kind of popular now. Some of these big YouTubers, when they're doing whatever they do, walking down the road, driving down the road, they're playing these odd kind of royalty-free songs. Nobody really knows the name of them or anything else. Maybe that kind of stuff has conditioned people to like things that they don't know.
I think they're
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. I'm just thinking that they've had enough of the Mick records. There was an article out there from where what they're doing is that where you said with the 4/4 time and everything is quantized and it's all synthesized and sample death and compressed and they're tired of it. It's they're looking for something different, and where are you going to find it but going to back catalogs?
I was talking to Jay Brannon on the phone, and he had gone to the Pioneer headquarters in Long Beach, and he wasn't giving me any information on anything new, but he was explaining that this, there's stuff that is going to make, let you do this and this with beats. And I kind of smiled. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we don't need that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's not the thing now. Maybe we've been doing it for, I don't know, like over 40 years, we've been conditioned to 4/4, 4 on the floor. That's what we play as a mobile DJ because it's easy to dance to. And I refer to any old song that we find like Jailhouse Rock or Twist and Shout or anything like that as a training wheel song because it's got that beat. Now, the big song that I play is Shout. It's a party song. But I don't play the old Shout. I play the Otis Day and the Nights from 1978 Shout that has that beat in it because that beat makes a difference.
It makes a big difference. That's the one I use too.
Yeah. Now, I can't see myself. I don't know. Who did the original? I don't even remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, I had never played. Maybe I could play it now. Because I don't know that that beat is as important as it used to be. It's just I enjoy it. And this whole culture of I don't really know it, but I'm going to try it.
Well, here's something that I've been trying, being that you mentioned that, is because they know it from the Blues Brothers movie, I'm playing the original versions. Like
Animal House, actually. That one was Animal House.
No, I'm talking about the Blues Brothers movie. I play stuff from that, but I'm playing Boom Boom, John Lee Hooker.
Okay.
And Give Me Some Lovin'. I really, really like the Spencer Davis Group version much, much better than the Blues Brothers one.
Right.
And Soul Man, you can't beat Sam and Dave, you know, and here we're getting into what you had mentioned once earlier about, you know, soul and R&B, and those things are really working well for me. However, because of the popularity of Spirit in the Sky, I did, at your recommendation, get the remix version of that.
Well, the Doctor and the Medics?
Yes, I did get that. Yep, I purchased that.
Did you like that?
I do like it. It's very different, and
it's 80s new wavy alternative.
Well, they came up and they went, "That sounds a lot like Spirit in the Sky," and I busted up laughing. They actually said that to me.
It's the kind of song you used to hear a lot when I was doing my early clubbing stuff in the 80s. They would play that along with Ministry, New Order, and Depeche Mode and things like that. That was a really popular song.
The Doctor kind of like what happened with what was that Diana Ross? You Keep Me Hanging On. There were 3 different cover versions.
Yeah, Kim Wilde.
Vanilla Fudge did a version of You Keep Me Hanging On.
Did Kim Wilde do Keep Me Hanging On?
She did as well. So there were 3 different tempos and weird, and then, you know, that Vanilla Fudge thing was like that acid rock thing. I didn't care for that. You know?
Yeah, that was, I've never been that high.
Yeah,
you know.
Right. It's like, ooh, what are you thinking?
I don't know. There's just the weirdo thing is, again, it's before I open up the phone lines here. Yeah, I haven't had to rely on 4/4 time training wheel songs. I can just go back and play good stuff. It doesn't have to have that beat. It just has to be good music, and it doesn't particularly.
Yeah, you mentioned once before that you're not even looking to even mix all the time. Sometimes it's okay to just go slam right into something really good. You know, they're not going to care if you're beat matching it or it's into, boom. I love that song, and wham, your dance floor.
A lot of us are going to Atlantic City in August, and sometime during the show, be it on the floor or be it at an event, you're going to see a DJ on a stage, and they're going to do a set.
Right.
For 20 minutes, half hour, whatever, or routine. And if you are inspired by this, tell me. But most of the time, it's going to put you to sleep because it's just the same song. I had a comment from somebody. I actually was in a different DJ group that I pop into once in a while. There's a gentleman who's into R&B, and he said, I'm trying to get into house, but every time I try to mix house, it sounds like an hour-long song. That's what happens sometimes. But if you I don't know, man. If you heard white noise for 5 minutes and then the white noise stopped and all of a sudden you started hearing a bell ring, you'd take notice what the hell just happened here.
Mm-hmm.
But if all you hear was white noise for a day, you kind of start ignoring it, and it's like whatever, you know what's going to happen. You know what it sounds like. There's no surprises. But the surprises are the things that make people take notice. You know? I think. And,
Yeah.
and jars people, oh, something changed. What's going on? They look around. And I think that's when you get the gold sometimes. And yeah, you know, other times you can mix it up. You can beat mix sets. But a lot of the night, I'm not doing that.
Well, you had mentioned earlier, and I think I was kidding with you, and I said, "Hey, you get out of my head. I'll drop that strawberry alarm clock
Is this a peppermint?
out of the blue, and I'll do it when there's something modern on, like Shut Up and Dance, and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm into strawberry alarm clock, and they're like, and everybody's out there.
That's actually very cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
It actually is a cool feeling when people go, "Oh, wow." Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and open up the call center here. You know that Jimmy has something to say about this. Let's hear from Jimmy.
Should we sign off?
No, let's keep going.
Oh, you're going to keep the recording going? Cool.
Yeah, let's hear from the audience. Jimmy, you got something to say about this?
Okay.
You got nothing to say about that. How about Scott? Scott's always got something to say. What do you got to say, Scott?
What's up?
Okay, guys, you can turn your cameras and your mics on.
Yeah, let's talk about what I just talked about. And if you think I'm absolutely insane, just say, dude, you're nuts. You lit a couch on fire on the Tonight Show. You're never going to go on the Tonight Show again.
Nothing wrong with being unusual in your sets, because when you're doing everything that everybody else is doing, don't do that.
Well, Scott, tell me again what year you started? It was like 80?
Yeah, I basically started when I was 17 in 1980.
So 1980, we're on the tail end of disco. And we're going into rock with 4/4 time beats, like Joan Jett's "I Love Rock and Roll."
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't even really. That didn't hit till probably about 82, 81, 82 with me. I was playing a lot of Foghat and Foreigner and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right. Well,
I was playing. What's the name of that? Judas Priest.
Oh Jesus, you were that guy.
I was, but Breaking the Law was actually not. We used to get, they dance to that song. Then somebody handed me Rapper's Delight. I said, Crapper's Delight. No, Rapper's Delight. You got a 15-minute version on one side and 7 minutes on the other. And that's when I said, oh God, here it goes. You know, and you had your anti-disco people on the other, which most of those were metalheads. They were heavy metal. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
rock guys. They couldn't dance, so they had to hate on it.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
I could sit over here and play Donna Summer. In fact, on the radio was one of the biggest hits.
Beautiful song. Beautiful song.
It started out, because a lot of her songs started out as a ballad, and they would build.
And MacArthur Park's like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the live version of MacArthur Park was the best. That's the one I played when I DJ'd. In fact, that was we wore it out because it was a long song.
Well, my point being on all this is that when you got started in the business, the songs that really resonated the most had that beat.
Whether
it was disco, whether it was anything, it was like this.
Well, Born to Be Alive, Patrick Hernandez.
Yes.
Okay, that was really big, and one of those songs that you could put in there, and he did a lot of other stuff too, and part of the disco era. I wore out a Studio 54 double album. In fact, I have another one.
I have it here handy actually. And that is Studio 54?
Yeah, that
Yeah, my mom had that one too, and I've told that story before.
that
Very
that
uncomfortable. Yeah.
that was a big play that we had. Village People, YMCA, but you know what? We never thought of that group being what they were.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, the point being is that through your entire career, aside from the Fog Hat you were playing for like 30 seconds, and then you stopped, I'm sure, and started doing other things, then everything had that beat. Where now, I don't know, I'm finding that new territory where I don't need it. Or it doesn't have to be as spoon-fed as it used to be. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Well,
I
it got to the point in the 80s that everything had a beat to it. It had that 4/4 beat to it.
Everything. Rock and roll, pop, R&B.
Everything had that boom, 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 boots and pants, boots and pants, boots and pants, as referred to. And it drove, a lot of us, it drove us nuts. You sit there and you could continue beat out of something, and that's how beat mixing kind of got started.
Well, yeah, of course. It all has this quantized beat, so you just go with it.
And Jimmy will tell you the breaks we used to have.
I got one for you.
What do you got, Jimmy?
Jimmy's got one. Let's hear it, Jimmy.
Jimmy Castor Bunch, Just Begun.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was used in the movie Flashdance when they cut to the scene with the New York City Breakers out in the working out on the cardboard breakdancing.
You know the song I'm thinking about that I've never been able to play, like never. But I always really liked it, and this is kind of where I'm going with this, because I'm a music lover. I'm not just this DJ who's finding songs that work well for weddings. I actually enjoy music. I know all kinds of music.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some songs that, they have a beat, but it's not so spoon-fed, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
The song that I really want to try soon, next time I go into that disco place,
Oh boy.
I want to try Maxine Nightingale's Right Back Where We Started From.
Wow.
Because I've never been able to play that as a DJ. I think it's a fantastic song, but if I don't have to rely on four on the floor, obvious four on the floor, maybe that's something I could play now.
But that thing,
Before people are going, maybe I can do that one now.
that thing opens wide open.
I've played
once
the crap
you're
out of
into
that
it. Boy, that thing's got so much energy.
Yeah.
It does. But again, we've been relying, I call them training wheel songs.
Yeah.
It's anything that sounds like it has a beat to it that a modern song may have as well, even if it's not quantized. It's got that beat, and it's obvious. But songs, that one has a hand clap in it that's nice.
What's the song we used to play? Let me think. Dun, 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 dun. Oh,
Chase by Giorgio Moroder. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that's it. Right there.
Dun, dun, dun. Same guy who produced Donna Summer.
Yeah, and when the robots, when the robot song came out,
Kraftwerk.
Robots, yes.
Yep.
Believe it or not, that was one that, besides what we were playing in the South with Leonard Skinner and everything else like that, they wore Freebird. We wore Freebird, home Alabama out.
Oh, sure.
You got to understand. You got to understand. Being from the South, Skinner, everybody's hollering that.
Play some Skinner, man.
Skinner,
My
man.
favorite line from Beavis and Butthead. It's that one little scene. I wish I had like a little video clip of that. Play some Skinner, man.
And believe it or not, another brick in the wall, part 2.
Oh, sure.
That was and You Better Run. That was the other track that I used to play off of.
Benatar?
No, off of the wall.
Oh, okay.
That's
called Run.
Floyd.
It's called Run. It's a
That's got a very high energy to it. I have great success with that.
I mean, I think at the time, and this was before I was DJing, but even tracks like Young Lust you could get away with off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
The weirdo, and this is not what we're talking about tonight, but the weirdo Pink Floyd song that I can play for a very mixed crowd, especially, shall we say, an urban crowd. Okay, fine, let's just say it, older black people. The song I can play, they may not know it, but they really like it, is Money by Pink Floyd. They love that track.
Yeah.
That's a groovy track. Any way you cut it.
Well, it charted. It
Yeah.
charted, cross charts back in the day.
Yeah, in fact, it held the charts, didn't it, Howie, for a long time?
It did. It's iconic when it, you hear those clocks and or the cash register rather.
Yeah,
and,
that one.
That's just, there's nothing else out there like it.
It's just got that groove, man. It's jazzy. It's got soul. It's just an interesting Pink Floyd song.
I used to
Chicago.
play iRobot.
Street player.
What's that, Jimmy?
What is it?
Chicago Street Player.
Street Player.
Yeah, Street Player by Chicago's a good one.
That was Chicago's disco album.
Well, but who redid it?
What?
The 90s.
Street Player? Oh, that was Bucketheads, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost exact rip.
The Bomb.
Yeah.
Well, they sampled it. That's all they did.
Yeah.
Just that one little part, in the opening verse.
Yeah.
What's up, Eric? Welcome to the party.
I used to play iRobot.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ice water.
We're talking about the weirdo music we're playing now as mobile DJs that I personally never thought we'd be able to play, but we're getting away with it now, and it's not just 4/4 time stuff.
All right, now
I heard you talking about the Pink Floyd stuff, and you ever fall asleep to that and then Money comes on?
Hello.
I used to use that as a wake up, as part of my alarm clock. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's great to fall asleep to that.
I sit there and play animals. That's relevant. But I tell you what else was big, and they started out doing line dance to it, was The Devil Went Down to Georgia, Charlie Daniels.
Oh yeah, well yeah, you had all that country stuff going on, and that was happening.
I had all that, but that was like, because of it being such a crossover pop song, and you had two different versions of that. You had your single play, which I told you once, you son of a gun, yeah, I'm the best there's ever been. Then the other one, which
right,
and
right.
Boom. And I slipped up one night and played the album version.
Was that album called Full Moon?
Yeah. I think it was.
Yeah, and what was the other track on there that was, because I lived in Oklahoma at the time when that hit. I think it was In America was the other big one on there.
In America. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
That
song.
got played a lot during 9/11.
I played.
Did it?
It
I
did.
played. What's his name? I played the Boogie Swamp.
Oh yeah.
Woolly Swamp.
Legend of Woolly Swamp.
Yeah.
Was that the
I
same
used
album?
that
It
at,
had to have been.
I used that at whatchamacallit, Halloween time.
That was after that.
Yeah.
That was the album after that.
Yeah.
Okay. Talking about the mason jars, burying them all around. and,
Exactly. It was great.
Yeah, I remember that. The one that was funny, and we're just like completely going off the rails here. And this is the ADHD I warned you all about earlier. This does happen. The one that I got a kick out of, and I don't know how many of you know it. Jimmy probably knows it. I think it was probably about 1986, 1987. A band came out called the KFC Crew, called The Devil Came Up to Michigan. And it was a hip-hop version of The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Wow.
You ever heard that one?
No.
You ever heard The Devil Came Up to Michigan? It's awesome. Yeah.
How about
Devil Came Up to Michigan. He was looking for a soul to steal, and a buying way behind will make a deal. He had a Nissan convertible pickup truck with a portable phone, and it was a turntable of gold against your soul. It was a scratching contest. You never heard that? That was a beautiful
I gotta
song.
go look it up now.
I have
Oh,
to look-
Look at that one. I'm gonna pull that one up. That was
The Devil Went Down to Jamaica?
Never heard that one.
No?
No.
Was that Dr. Demento, I think?
Oh, Devil Came Up to Michigan. You got to do Devil Came Up to Michigan. There's like two versions of it. If there's a video version of it that isn't any good, you got to get the non-video version of it. Geez, now you guys are going to make me work. Let me try to
All
find
right, Brian, dig open your disco brain. The song is called Bra.
Yes, I know it.
Yep.
And that's not even disco. That's like early. That's like 72
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it was breakbeat.
Yeah, that's definitely breakbeat.
I remember pulling out and man, people go crazy over Disco Duck at one time. Oh God, I got
All right.
I got a 45 of that.
Yeah.
Where's Rick Dees from?
Any from California? Or he's not?
Nope. Greensboro, North Carolina.
Is he?
You can always tell whenever Jimmy asks you, "Do you know where somebody's from?"
I should have said Carolina.
It's going to be from where he's living.
Be from where he's from.
You guys really want to hear the song?
My wife's
I found
listening
it
in the other room laughing her ass off.
Well, we're over 50 minutes. You want to do a sign off and then play that?
And the rest of you just have to look it up. So here's our sign off. Thanks for watching, everybody. And I hope you enjoyed our cool ADHD chat tonight. We kind of stayed on topic and went off the rails a little bit, but that's how it goes. So,
alrighty. Thanks, Brian.
I was here for 5 minutes.
Thank you, everybody. And stick around, though. If you're here live, we're going to hang. So.
I threw that link up there for Devil Went Down to Jamaica.
Right on. Thank you for that. Take care, everybody.
Right.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks again.